Don't know where it goes. I'm on a road. Follow your heart. It won't let you down. Follow your heart. Take the steps beyond your way. Take the steps. When you have a dream, you gotta start. It's the only way. If you're gonna shine, and you're gonna shine, shine, shine. You're gonna shine. And we are shining on the ranch, but it's been a day. Having problems with my sound, so I'm sorry. But my handyman did fix the power in my kitchen, and I will tell you, ladies, I know you got my back on this. I will do dubious things for a good handyman. I'm not even kidding. They are worth their weight. Bar none. So, problem solved. Things done. And we are here on the ranch. Again, the sound is a little, I hope it's not that bad. But I don't know what's going on. So, okay, but we got a great show. So I'm so excited. You know, we're brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. And that's where every indie artist wants to be, showcasing their music. Hotel Universe, you need some video needs. You know what? That's what you've got to do. You got to be there. We also are brought to you by Indie Music Radio in France and the Plow Zone out in California. So we're real excited for our listeners and for our people that are watching us live here on Monday night. So it's really exciting that we are bringing you the best in indie Americana music. And we're going to have some fun tonight because Houston is just a cutie patootie and he is going to keep you tapping along. So let's bring Houston into the stage. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
A little panicked, but we seem to be communicating, which is really a good thing.
Yeah, there we go. It's good.
How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Staying busy. How about yourself?
Staying busy. Yeah. It's been a little crazy, but slowing it down, keeping it under control.
Yeah.
Putting out fires. You know how it goes.
Totally.
So why don't you tell us where you're hailing from, a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Houston Bernard. That's my real name, not a stage name. I was born in Norman, Oklahoma. My father met my mom touring in Massachusetts, and eventually they split up, and I ended up back in Massachusetts with my mom. And I'm about to release my 7th country album. I've been touring a lot, mostly in New England, but I'll go to California and Colorado, Texas, and I release music in Texas, stuff like that.
So you come from a musical family.
I do, yes. My uncle, Reba recorded one of my uncle's songs, a song called Muddy Mississippi.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, a long time ago. And yeah, they've just been, they don't really play anymore. My uncle has passed since, but my dad just goes to karaoke now, and I don't.
Oh no, is that where we're all headed? Hasn't it that we all wind up doing karaoke at some age?
I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I feel like I would just hang out in the barn and drink moonshine if I get to that point. I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I love a good song circle. Don't get me wrong, you know.
Sure.
And I have done the karaoke thing, but usually it's like in my living room and only my birds listening.
There you go.
Dancing around. Oh, we got comments already. Yes, this is interactive. Well, howdy, Bill. How are you? Good to have you listening. We got some people listening, so this is always interactive. If you're watching live, our radio stations, you don't get to chime in, but if you go to the YouTube pages, you can always chime in. So we love to hear from you guys. So a musical family, I'm so jealous of that. I really am.
Well, I didn't grow up with my father and my uncle, so I didn't know that side of the family very well until I joined the military, and I was able to travel a little. So I went down there when I was about 19 years old, and I got to sit in with his band, and I was like, oh, my people. You know?
Just was there. You knew this was it.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
That's awesome. when that happens. Now you moved from Oklahoma to Massachusetts, and I'm from that area. I'm down south. I'm in Pennsylvania, but I lived in New Jersey for a long time, and there are pockets of country music, but not like Oklahoma.
No, it's part of the I don't know, it's part of the indoctrination of growing up in Oklahoma and Texas, and it's just like it's part of the whole thing. It's I'm trying to think of it's maybe like in New England, like Boston would be, I don't know, like the Chowder or sports games or something like that's very Boston or uh you know, very progressive in the sense that the Tea Party and the birthplace of American liberty all started here with all of these very abrasive Northeasterners.
And Billy thanks you for his service, by the way.
Oh, thanks for saying so.
Yeah.
Um, but it's an interesting thing. My dad was a broke musician, so he rejoined the military, and that we ended up sending us up to Alaska. So I grew up there for like 10 years, and then when they split up, we came to Massachusetts.
So how old were
So
you when you came here?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Had to be a big culture shock.
It was definitely a big culture. The abrasiveness, it was really threw me off. I was like, they have derogatory terms for the best friends. Hey, what's up, a-hole? Like I wasn't used to that, you know.
It, it does take
That's
some.
weird.
Okay, when I moved to Pennsylvania, people are like, "What's the difference between even New Jersey and Pennsylvania?" And I told them, I said, if you go to a diner in New Jersey and you sit at the counter, the person next to you is going to be polite. They're not going to be rude, but they're not going to pay you much attention. You go to Pennsylvania to a diner to the counter, and the person next to you, be prepared for a full on conversation. They want to know everything about you, and they're just the friendliest things you ever want to meet.
Hilarious.
You know,
That's funny.
so like even just crossing that border, it's like night and day. And I can't imagine, Oklahoma, Alaska. I mean,
Yeah, well, the people are really spaced out in Alaska, as you can imagine. So and as a performer, not being around people, some of the like summer times, I didn't really hang out with many people. I'd ride my horse or motorcycle or just watch movies on HBO or something. But
Billy's like location, location. Billy, you are
yeah.
hysterical tonight. That's funny. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't like being by myself, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
It's isolating,
A little
you
bit.
know. Um, so you appreciate your audiences, I bet, a whole lot more.
Big time, big time. That's how I find my motivation to keep going, keep making music. Because like I can do it by myself, but the whole recording process, that's, expensive, and it's like, okay, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for my ego? Am I doing this because I'm selling lots of albums? No. Um, like I get some downloads, but like even you get a million streams, and like what is that? Like $100? Like it's
I made 5 million streams last year with
okay.
playlists and everything.
Yeah,
I made $342.
there you go. There you go. So
They don't even count all playlists. It's very nefarious. It's just horrible.
yeah, it really is. Yeah, it is. We can talk hours about that, but
Right. For a different show.
but find my motivation being able to connect with people, like one on one or in a group setting. I'm lucky enough to be able to play a variety of shows still. Probably like 60 dates a year, is mostly about 60, 70 per year, which is good, and still have a life and afford to be able to do things and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's the motivation is really the fans and people like my music. So I never know what people will like. I have a lot of music, and the interaction is really helpful for me. That's why I write music, to try to connect with people. So if I'm not connecting with people,
Oh, there's Riverbait videos. 67 is excellent. So I think
nice.
that's Kim, right?
Yep.
Probably. Hello. Thanks for chiming in and letting us know you're there. And we have other people listening. We have quite a few people. Oh, see, that's why you're my favorite, Billy. I'm not even kidding. Randie, I'm worth billions. I know, right? Thank you. Well, so you're drawing from all kinds of different experiences in your writing, and you really like to keep things really up tempo, which I really like up tempo.
I'm glad someone appreciates it. I don't know. A lot of the ballads just I know people like ballads, but if I'm not really feeling a ballad, that I don't want to sing it. Like I don't know. I need to be motivated. It's got to be something for me to like. I like to stay moving. You know, dance, have a good time, and like appreciate life while we have it.
I do too. And you, okay, I'm going to call you out. Die Before I Let You Down. I got to tell you, that could have been a ballad, and I'm glad you didn't go there. But I have to say, let me talk to you about your process on this one, because you make a lot of promises on this one. Can you deliver? Can you deliver? I'm asking. I just want to know. A lot of promises in this one.
I deliver.
Yeah.
1000%. Oh
man, after my own heart. Seriously.
No, I'm a man of my word. I don't. And it's hard for. I'm the type of person that doesn't like if you don't own your word, if you don't live up to your word, then you have very little value in my eyes. So, little things like I'll call you tomorrow at 2. Okay, they do. And then I have that's the kind of people I like. People that say and do what they're gonna do. I mean, no one can be perfect. I'm not perfect, but that I respect. So yeah,
this day and age, there's so many I mean, you're running late or whatever. A text, tell me that. Like I don't understand why this is so hard.
I don't think it's taught in schools. I think that's what it is. And then people get late. I don't think it's taught in schools, and I think people get lazy.
Yeah, manners. And I have a whole theory on where manners are going. And being nice to each other and just like you said, doing what you say you're going to do, yet alone committing to a relationship. I mean, really?
Well, to each their own. I can only speak for me.
I know. How about people who are late? They just make me crazy.
Yeah, I know. I have some Spanish friends, and I always tease them. So you're on Spanish time. So, and I know some musicians too that I work with. When I was it's like you're on Jeff time. And so what I do, if you got to be there at 6, I tell them like 5:30 or 5.
But you got to do.
Yeah.
And then you have my drummer. I know she's probably watching. I tell her like we're practicing at 6, and she's showing up at 4:30 to set up.
Extra early. That's cool. Yeah.
You know how the drums have to be in the right spot, like.
Yeah, of course. I respect the drummers that I work with usually show up early because it takes them longer, but it usually takes me longer to set up. I have way too many things to set up. But yeah, I like being early, always early.
I can. And what does he have to say? He says genuine, that comes through in his music. Okay, now my drummer's chiming in. Right. I mean, again, and I appreciate that things are upbeat because I like upbeat. I like to sing along, tap along. I've never written a love song. I don't know. That's just me. Because even my love songs like have beats to them, like they swing,
Yeah.
But you do it. She's right. You're being genuine comes through on this. But I had to tease you and ask you, can you deliver on this? So let's listen to Die Before I Let You Down. And let's see if Halfton delivers here.
Tell me about your day, tell me what you need. I'll pour you some wine, you can lay it all on me. Wrap you in my arms, take your blues away. Baby, whatever it takes. I won't ever let that Maybelline run down your cheek. You won't ever second guess what you mean to me. Girl, your mouth that ain't ever gonna change. I'm always gonna feel the same way. And I'd walk 1,000 miles to put a smile on your face, sing you a song just to brighten your day. Move to your favorite little map dive town and die before I let you down. This rambling man don't ramble much more. You took the gypsy out of me when you walked through the door. I won't ever be the man that I used to be, and darling, that's fine by me. And I'd walk 1,000 miles to put a smile on your face, sing you a song just to brighten your day. Move to your favorite little map dive town and die before I let you down. Rope that moon and bring it closer to you, kiss you under stars in these cowboy boots. Learn how to dance just to spin you around. Honey, die before I let you down. I'd die before I let you down. Whatever you wish, it will come true. Well, honey, jump and I'll catch you. There ain't a thing in this whole world, baby, that I wouldn't do. And I'd walk 1,000 miles to put a smile on your face, sing you a song just to brighten your day. Move to your favorite little map top town and die before I let you down. Rope that moon and bring it closer to you, kiss you under stars in these cowboy boots. Learn how to dance just to spin you around. Honey, I'd die before I let you down. I'd die before I let you down. Oh, honey, I'd die before I let you down. I'd die before I let you down. Woo!
Be still my heart. We are on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7. And this is your one stop for indie music. If you need a place to showcase your music, or you should be showcasing your music, you keep all your money. They are so good to indie artists. That's where you want to be. A lot of podcasts, a lot of networking, and just a lot of resources for indie artists. So we are here with Housen, and Housen, that looked like such a fun video to make.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I worked with Justin Mant and his wife. They're very good. I did the Dancing in the Dirt, my current video and single, with them as well.
We're going to get into that last. I mean, and you got a lot of people dancing along there and everything, coming up with little dance moves. I love that.
Oh yeah, we have a line dance specifically for that song, which is out there.
You have your own dance?
Oh yeah, and then for Dancing in the Dirt as well, we have a line dance. Different choreographers for both, and they were submitted to Copper Knob.
What is that?
Copper Knob is where all the line dances. That's like, if you have a line dance, you submit to Copper Knob, and then everybody in the world can go there
and learn your dance.
And learn your dance, yeah.
I learned something. I've never heard about that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have a line dance in Queen of the Barstool, and I got to send it to Copper Knob.
There you go. Submit. You got to do a step sheet and the whole thing. And but
do you get 0.0004 cents if somebody does your dance?
I get 0.0 cents. So we do it for the love of it.
Yeah, Kim didn't know that one either. Oh, we're learning. We're doing an educational show tonight. We're just learning all kinds of stuff here on the ranch, sharing resources with indie artists. That's what we're all about. Love it, love it, love it. That's cool stuff. You know what? I never thought of like copywriting your line dance. but it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, people like to dance, and they go there for a new dance, something to do for exercise with your friends, the music that you love, that kind of thing.
Right.
Keep them
Right.
living.
Living a life. Line dancing. I took dance lessons. I'm a West Coast swing girl.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
so swing dancing, there's a lot of similar moves with the spinning and all that. Not that I'm a connoisseur of either, but I'm familiar.
Yeah, but
I
it's
try.
fun and you learn, different. I mean, because we're musicians, we're all about beats and tempo and stuff like that. Different beats and tempos and rhythms have different dance patterns. It would only make sense,
Right.
Well, it's West Coast, it's two-step, it's line dancing, depending on what song you're listening to. So
For
it's all
sure.
good. It's all good. So let's talk a little bit. In My Blood is coming up next.
Oh,
And you know, a lot of country music artists have songs about their hometown, their origins, and things like that. And this one, you talk a lot about the family in your blood. What was your songwriting process on this one?
well, it's my story. I didn't grow up with my father, and I missed that whole side of me. And once I met him, and I was like, oh, this is all making sense, and it feels
How
like
old were
home.
you when you met him again?
19.
19. I was
Yeah.
14. So it's interesting. So go ahead.
So I was talking to this writer, and he's like, I was telling him my story, and he said, you should write a song. So I got off the phone, I wrote it really fast, and then I actually got in a session with him, and we tightened it up, and put a minor 3 chord in there, and it just talks about, it's all 100% truth, my truth. So if I was going to say what song is the most you, that would be the most me, because it's my story, has my name in it, how I got my name, all of that.
Yeah, and you throw it on the line, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what you got to do, I think. If you're gonna tell your truth, you're gonna write about it. Even if
Yeah,
nobody's listening, you got to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself.
right. I do believe that you have to speak your truth. And I mean, to me, those are songs that are going to resonate, when people really tell their story and speak from the heart. I mean, they're wearing it all over their sleeve and, every time they sing it. Do you start with words or melody or
It changes. Sometimes it'll be a thought that'll turn into a riff, or it'll turn into words, or it really depends. And also depends on who I'm writing with. If I'm just doing myself, a lot of times I'll just go by vibe, and then maybe some chords, and then I'll work off of that, an idea or a feeling, and then go from there. So it really depends.
okay. So you draw from different sources. Do you write from prompts ever or just wait for inspiration?
What do you mean prompts?
Like, somebody says, I'm going to write a song about, I did a prompt, Sinners and Saints, or something like that.
No, I only write what I'm feeling. I feel like it's an investment of my time at this point. I've written hundreds and hundreds of songs, so if I'm going to write something, I want to make it to a certain level of that I'm proud of, and I think the only way I can really do that is if I write straight from the heart. No AI, no no like commission to, hey, write a song about this. This is just me spilling my truth. And
Really
I
true.
feel like if I'm going to put the time and effort into it, I've got to go all in. So
So
I
we have
expect
a
to, yeah.
question. We have a question. Does
Sure.
Houston have a notebook or lines, poems, etc. that you keep?
I used to have books and stuff, but now I'll have I use the memo on my phone for song ideas, and then lyric ideas. I'll just put in the notes, and then I'll do like Google Sheets. I'll put all my stuff on Google Sheets, and then I can if I'm writing with someone, I can just share the document, and we can see it and
Mm.
talk about it. COVID was really helped with that process, Zoom writing or Google writing.
Right. Right. Because you couldn't be in the same room with people anymore, and you want to bounce some ideas off of people. You had to get creative on how to share stuff.
Yeah, it's really opened a lot of doors for me. I got a lot
I
of access.
I found for COVID, I know a lot of people felt isolated, and I think I did for a half minute. But then I realized that all these groups had gone online, groups that I couldn't participate with before.
Right.
There was a Philly songwriting circle, and out in California there were things going on, and I really used it as kind of time to connect.
Yeah, totally. I was on every day for the first couple weeks.
I started my every Thursday I was going live, and I think I did it up until about a couple months ago. I
Nice.
stayed true. Okay, so we have electronic notes. Thank you. You do strike me as a pen and paper guy. I'm agreeing with Vibe videos here.
Well, I used to do that, but it's just not very efficient, right? Because eventually I'm going to have to print it out so I can go in the studio or edit like lyrics over and over and over again. I don't want a piece of paper with a bunch of notes everywhere. And I have to write it over. It's like it doesn't make sense. Just delete it and boom, it's right there. And then once I go over the song more and more, I don't even need pen and paper. It's all in my head.
I actually start pen and paper and I scribble. And once I have it working and I know this is something I want to develop, then I go to the computer and I start editing. And
that's cool. I don't think there's any wrong way to do it. It's what
really
works for
isn't.
you. Yeah.
I love just waking up with a song in your head.
What do they call that? Earworm?
Yeah.
Or
Something gets stuck there.
over there. Yeah, I've definitely done that many times. And sometimes it's not my song, sometimes it is. But it's like it won't get out of your head. It starts driving you crazy. She's got to play another song, you know.
Right. Right. Have something take place.
Yeah, try it.
All right. So let's get back to In My Blood. Tell us about this video.
So I shot this video out in California, Southern California. I was there in San Diego for a couple shows at there's moonshine clubs. There's these large clubs, and I wanted to shoot a video at a horse farm, which we did, and the director came out of LA and he jumped on it last minute, but man, he did such a great job. And one of the horses ran away. We had to chase the horse down.
Oh no!
But it was and the owner was an interesting guy. He was showing me pictures. He's like, yeah, they do photo shoots here all the time. They like to use this motorcycle over here. And he starts showing me these like, women on their, bathing suit. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. He's like, yeah, it was terrible. Like these people came by to, just being a frisky old man, I guess. But
Cool.
it's a cool spot. It's pretty dusty. We did about 10 hours shoot, which was probably my longest shoot I've ever done. When I've directed my videos, I'm usually done in like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And because I plan it all out and I'm quick about stuff. But he did a really great job. And the original edit was very movie-like a Clint Eastwood movie. But my manager, we were trying to go for something slightly different. So it still feels like a film, parts of it. And there's like this truck that does these spin outs and the dust goes over. It was pretty cool. It all came together.
Oh, that sounds great. But it sounds like it was a little bit more spontaneous than some of your other shoots.
A little less spontaneous. This was fairly planned. It was just it wasn't planned by me, and it was planned in a very long day. Because I had so that was a Thursday, and then I had to do like these high energy shows on Friday and Saturday at these venues that are like, oh, you go through no space, and lots of young people. It was like 1,500 capacity places, and they're expecting a show
Right.
with no room to breathe. And I'm like, okay. So 10 hours of that out in the sun. It was real hot too, in the dust and stuff. And I'm trying not to, trying to have a voice so not to breathe in too much dust. as you get older, your voice is like this tool that ages with you, and that you have to be a little bit more delicate with, and you have to know when it works and when it doesn't, with the warm ups and the hydration. When you do a lot of shows in a row, especially if you're doing 3 or 4 hour nights, it takes a toll, and you got to know you got to know how to do a show when you have no voice or when you have a cold. Can you imagine, like, completely stuffed up? How do you get through a show like that? I've done
Oh
it.
yeah, it keeps busting your chops because you're making old man noises and you're a youngster.
That's what everyone thinks, but that's okay. I'm ageless.
But you're right. You do as you do age. I used to work out on the treadmill and sing at the same time to keep everything.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And keep things going.
Yep.
Keep things ageless. That's right, Kim. We're keeping it ageless.
That's right.
But you have to find ways to be at your peak performance. And I did a shoot in Costa Rica. It was 1,000,000 degrees. It was close to 100. And there was a truck spinning around me because the song was Crash and Burn. And there's dust everywhere. And
yeah, that gets everywhere. And I had a guitar too. I was like, oh, please don't get my guitar. Don't get my guitar.
Well, that was the one thing I had borrowed a guitar, so I don't worry about that. I had to
Nice. I love Costa Rica.
I love Costa Rica. I've been there, I don't know how many times, and been considering a move with everything going on. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I kid. I'd love to be there, but
I love it. I went down for a medical massage school. I'm a massage therapist as well, and went down there. We did some excursions, the waterfalls and the hot springs and zip lining through the jungle. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we were like we were salsa dancing and doing yoga.
Yeah.
I was like, I only got up for yoga one morning because it was like at 6 a.m. We're there for a week. I can't get up at 6 a.m. to do yoga. Drinking out of coconuts though.
I know, right? They're crazy with their yoga and stuff on the beach. And the dogs on the beach are amazing. There's like dogs everywhere.
Oh, I didn't see the dogs. We were at we were at a resort. Well, it was a retreat place. It was less of a resort, but more of a retreat place. So they did like the yoga and stuff like that. All health food. It was great.
All right, let's listen to In My Blood, and we'll continue with the massages in Costa Rica. Right back. In My Blood.
Got my name from Uncle Houston, who died when he was 2 in 1933. He caught that Dust Bowl flu on the family farm in Oklahoma, where life was always tough. It's in my blood. For 9 years my Uncle Sam gave me a place to belong. The day my daddy turned 16, he left for Vietnam in all his innocence. He left there in the mud. It's in my blood. Like a Tulsa tornado, it's ripping through my veins. My past will never let go. It's churning like a train. You can't outrun your family. You can't outrun the band when it flows. No. It feels I'll always be shaking off the dust. Thought you should know if I'm the one you dare to love. Oh, it's in my blood. My great-grandpa was an outlaw. His middle name was Bitter Creek. Wanted dead or alive, so they shot him in his sleep. My favorite song is Desperado. and I'm never growing up. It's in my blood. Like a Tulsa tornado, it's ripping through my veins. My past will never let go. It's churning like a train. You can't outrun your family. You can't outrun the pain when it flows. No. It feels I'll always be shaking off the dust. Thought you should know if I'm the one you dare to love. Oh, it's in my blood. So tell me your story, every quiet little storm, all the shame and all the glory, from the day that you were born. 'Cause there ain't no need to worry, you're the one I dare to love. It's in your blood.
And we are back on the ranch. We are brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, where you need to be if you're an indie artist or if you want to find great indie music of all genres. Blast Music 24/7 is a great stop to go to showcase your music. If you want to send people your music, people can go there, buy your music, and you keep it. So they really are good to their indie artists. So it's a great place to be. Hotel Universe for your videos. I mean, you need quality MP4s, lyric videos, anything put together that you want to showcase. Hotel Universe. We have the Plow Zone in California. We have my indie music radio out in France also listening. So thank you guys for tuning in. We are here with House and Bernard. And if you want to be on the show, little banner running across the bottom is just go to my website, randieoneal.com/shows, and you could apply to be on the ranch. Just spell my name right. Randie with an IEONEIL, and you will get there, and we could see you on the ranch. So here we are back to Houston. I keep saying Houston. I don't know why.
That's okay. I used to live in New York City, and I have a lot of friends that still call me Houston just for fun.
Yeah, it really is a Northeast thing. I apologize, but Billy is loving you, thinking that man is country, using country. There he is. So, Live video, Houston's got to go back off the beaten path, and that sounds like where you're most comfortable.
Well, I mean, I don't think about it. I just follow my heart, you know.
Did you ever miss Alaska? That was one of the other questions.
Well, you know, to tell you the truth, I am trying to book a show up there this year at the state fair. They're interested. They just haven't locked down a date with me, so we're still chatting. But if I do get that show, I'll be able to see some old friends, and then also hopefully do a little touring, do a couple dates up there.
So you still keep in touch with some of your friends from Alaska?
Yeah, you know, Facebook does that.
Yeah, it's kind of great. I mean, it does do some things well.
Well, yeah. Well,
it does things really badly, which again, one of our Facebook links is not going tonight. But again, we are across quite a few platforms and Roku TV. So you could always find us. We're everywhere. So
awesome.
Yeah, that is fabulous news about the upcoming dates.
Yeah, well, if they come through. I'm nervous about them. I don't know if they're coming through, honestly. Not everybody does things the way you like them to do them. You can only control yourself. So when you're looking for, you know, hey, would you like to book that date? radio silence, and you're like, okay. And then they're interested, and then they're not. People have things going on in their lives, and it's like, okay, let's get this together. We can do this.
Booking is just one of those elusive things in the industry. And like you said, they're interested, but then it's radio silence. You don't hear anything. Nothing's confirmed. And I know one time I was supposed to be in Connecticut, but they never confirmed it. So 2 days before, I saw a promo about me being in Connecticut, and I never got a confirmation. Nobody looks good when that happens.
Well, I think communication is hard, and we're all just trying to do our best.
I know. Like you said, though, not everyone is as consistent of getting back. And
sure, and sometimes a lot of the agents, they're overwhelmed, and there's so many artists and so few agents, and they've got a lot of tasks, and they're like the middle people between artists and venues, and the venues are demanding, and the artists can be demanding. It's a lot of challenges that I have no interest in doing. So I don't want to give them too much grief.
I know. I try not to. I think if anyone's listening, I'm being very supportive of all people who do booking out there. I am your friend. It is a frustrating on both sides, all
For sure.
sides, but yeah. Communication is hard with all the technology available. You think it would be easier, but for some reason it's not. But again, if you're getting a lot of emails, from a lot of bands,
everything goes really fast now. So you'll get a ton of emails, and you think you read everything or you remember everything, and you just have to be patient with each other the best you can. And
I had a snafu tonight. Oh, I had 2 people booked. I didn't know. And I bet that one email went to spam or something. And
totally possible. Yeah, that's tough.
That could happen too. But we're all doing the best we can.
That's all we can do.
With our resources.
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Keep at it. And when you're an indie artist, you wear so many different hats all the time. And Kim was saying what a jack of all trades you are, and you just have to be in this industry.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I'll speak for myself. You get a little jaded, when there's things like miscommunication or someone is disrespectful or not professional. I had a situation tonight with someone who was a little aggressive, but it's on text, so the tone is a little difficult. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not comfortable with the way this conversation is going. So if you'd like to chat on the phone, I'm available to you. But I think you got to be patient when you're reading text. You don't know where the tone is. You don't know what's going on with people's lives. But I think it's really important to be respectful. And there are smaller. I'll throw some dirt here. There are some smaller venues that treat you not as human as you would like, and then there's bigger venues with like say House of Blues or something, which I've had the pleasure of playing a couple of times.
Oh, good for you.
Opening up for somebody, and they treat you like a human being. They don't care who you are. It's like, well, we're going to provide food for you. We're going to make sure that your sound is good. It's just like decency. When you're doing certain venues, it's like, no, we'll give you, $50 for food to feed everybody. Like we're going to pay you less and we're going to charge more at the door, but we're not going to pay you more. It's like all this other stuff. And then the changing of management. It's like, no, when you're in a venue that respects what you do versus trying to sell booze. It is what it is. And you got to take all that with a grain of salt and know what you're getting into.
Do you find that's regional? Some areas, I think, for me, you can play down south and live on tips. You can't do that up north with live acts.
I don't know. Everyone has a different experience. I like when I play shows in Texas. They want to hear original music. They actually say, no, you're supposed to do mostly originals. And then, I usually like to, if I'm doing a full night, as opposed to like just an original show, I'll do like 60-40, like 40% of my own.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'll make sure that they're up tempo and works with the audience. And I'll cut my songs if it doesn't seem like if I don't have the audience with me. I'm like, all right, let's give them something they're gonna respond to, you know.
Right.
So I put the crowd first, but and the venue first when I'm in those types of, because that's what they're hiring you for,
Right.
you know, to entertain their audience with, you know, whatever that audience wants, you know.
So, is that your favorite part of music? Is playing live?
Oh, I like each part of it. I like the creative process. I like I really like the recording, and I'm waiting on some songs right now to be finished up, longer than usual. But I'm really excited about these new songs. 'Cause each time I try to do better than I did before, you know. And there's little things like I work with a great producer. His name's Bill McDermott in Nashville, and we had like Jason Aldean's guitar player that he does studio with. We had the keyboard player the next day. He's going on tour with Post Malone. So like these are professional musicians that are just killing it, and I'm able to get them on my recordings that I'm proud of. True to the song. I used to have this thing about I don't want to go to Nashville, do the cookie cutter thing. But if you find the right producer, which my manager did, we were able to. I've been working with him for 5 years now, and I'm so excited about the music. It's honors the song. It's totally true to the song. You do the workshop. You're like, this is what I'm going for. This is what I've, you know. He's introduced me to writers. So I've definitely been blessed. But you're always trying to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And so these new songs, I'm not sure if they're necessarily better, but it's a different vibe for me. I think, like sometimes I'll go into the studio with some songs that I've been, you know, playing for a year, and I feel like this last time it was kind of like a couple of them I've been playing, but a couple of them are just like kind of, you know, new to the mix. I didn't really get into them as much, so I was a little uncomfortable with recording. I didn't know if I was going to be super excited or not, and so far so good. But I'm really looking forward to final mixes. And I did a duet, which I rarely do. I've only done one other duet years ago, and I don't even have a copy of it. But there's an artist named Ashley Jordan. She's great, and I did a song with her, a song that I wrote with Willie Morrison called "Heartbreak in Reverse." But that'll come out later this year, I think.
Oh, then we're going to have to get you back on the show and talk about that.
All right.
So, Dancing in the Dirt is a newer one, right?
Yeah, that's the newest one. I actually have been playing that song. I wrote that in like 2020. I wrote a ton during COVID, like a ton. And then I'm slowly, you know, recording it. But that one I've been playing live since 2020. And we recorded it 2022 with my local band, actually, at the time. And they did great. And then, yeah, and I actually had it mixed and produced here by a friend of mine. So that was funny because I rarely do a home recording, but that is one. My guys were with me for 10 years, and it was like, okay, we're gonna move on to something else. I'm like, cool, let's record a couple songs so we have, you know, a farewell. And it turned out to be that song, and it's such a great song, and great players on there, great players, local players.
All right, let's hear Dancing in the Dirt.
Been a long week, thank God it's a Friday. There's a secret little road right off the highway. Through the woods we go, across a couple creeks, down my old man Johnson's farm. What could go wrong? Just me and my buddies, some gasoline and some pyro putty, a case of natty light and some Oklahoma. some mud and we're racing to get there first. Gonna be some drinking, gonna be some fighting, somebody gonna get hurt. Ooh, when they light that fire, the lives are gonna get burned. They'll be dancing, 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 dancing in the dirt. A truck full of girls and then it's a party. If I learn not to slur, I might get lucky. I got a newfound shirt and a splash of Old Spice to wash away the smoke. So jump on in if you want to come along. There's gonna be some loving, gonna be some mudding. We're racing to get there first. Gonna be some drinking, gonna be some fighting, somebody gonna get hurt. Ooh, when they light that fire, the lives are gonna get burned. They'll be dancing, 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 dancing in the dirt. Round and round and round we go. Grab your partner and do-si-do. Nothing makes me come alive like a pretty girl in a dipping down. So roll one up, pour a drink in a long line of gasoline. Strike that match, 'cause here we go. Get light it up and watch it blow. Watch it blow. There's gonna be some loving, gonna be some nutting, and we're racing to get there first. Gonna be some drinking, gonna be some fighting, somebody gonna get hurt. Ooh, when they light that fire, the lives are gonna get burned. They be dancing, 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 dancing in the dirt.
All right, we are back on the ranch, brought to you by Blast Music 24/7, your one stop for all indie music. Place you guys, if you're an indie artist, you want to be there, and if you like original music, you got to go there. So Blast Music 24/7. If you want to apply to be on the ranch, my little ticker is going down below. Just check out my website, Randie O'Neill. Randie is Randie. If you spell it with a Y, you're going to get a baseball player. RandieO'Neill.com/shows, and you could apply to be on the ranch. And it's not a surprise, Houston, that in my blood, dancing in the dirt has so much line dancing in it. In the dirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously we had to do that, but that was a fun shoot. It ended up being pretty cold. We shot it at a North Star horse farm in Massachusetts, and I've shot a lot of videos there actually. Michelle North runs that. She's great.
Oh, and Billy's feet were tapping to that one. It's hard not to tap along with it.
You got a line dance for that one too?
Yeah, I'm sure he is, Billy. I know Billy. Kim was even line dancing.
There we go.
She was going too. So, all right, Houston, what's next for you? What are you working on?
Well, I am trying to finish up a mix. There's going to be a song I'm going to be releasing called Wild in Me. And that's will be the next single. And yeah, and I'm going to release an EP, which I call my EPs albums too, because they're projects. So each project. Too. So for me, that's how I look at it. So it'll be my 7th country project. I'm going to have 7 songs for that. But that's the next thing for this year. I'll release a new thing.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You dropping them over time, right?
Yeah, so I'll push it. Yeah, I'll push it all the way through the year. Probably do 7 6 to 7 songs, or maybe 5 singles, and then just like do EP with the extra 2. That's how I did the
Right.
last one.
Bonus track or, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, how many songs do you need for an EP? Like a demo's 3, like 5, 6, 7, 5?
I think you can get away with whatever you want, really.
Yeah, you know what? When you're an indie artist, you just do what you want to do. You're making.
Yeah, you don't have to follow the rules that everybody's doing. Like, you just do what works for you.
That's it. That's it.
But I think a good solid 4 or 5 is nice for an EP, in my opinion. 4 or 5. But I have about 14 songs almost ready and recorded, and I didn't want to put them all in one song. One album. The last album I released January. It was 11 songs on it, and even some of my own fans, I was like, "Hey, what?" Just taking a poll, like, what are your favorite songs of the album? Trying to figure out what I should put at shows and stuff. Is, oh, I haven't heard the new stuff. I mean, that was like 8 months ago. What am I doing wrong? How do I not? I always feel like I'm oversaturating my social media and my text chain with stuff. I'm like, obviously not enough.
That's heart crushing. I didn't hear any new music.
I don't know how to get people's attention. Like, I don't look good with my clothes off anymore. That's not going to help me.
Oh, I know. It's
what scary. What are you going to do?
Scary at our age,
Anyway, you do what you can. People are saturated with music. Anybody can do a song now.
Yeah, it's true though, but I feel that you're not getting so much help from social media anymore. The algorithms, they're so flooded with commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That it is hard to get people's attention. I find that even my posts aren't getting to where my dog is hitting my camera.
Is that what that was?
That was. I'm like, it's not an earthquake.
I thought it was getting late and my eyes are getting blurry.
I know, like what are you doing? Okay, this came out twice now. So for Kim's sake, how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2". I'm 5 foot. You're a foot and 2 inches taller than me.
Wow, nice.
And Ride Videos agrees. Socials are oversaturated, and they're not helping anybody right now.
Well, I mean, they're not helping anyone I know personally. But they've got to be helping somebody, because somebody's winning. Someone's always winning. It's just not me. That's okay.
Right. That could be true.
I mean, if you measure winning, having, 1 million people liking your thing, your posts, that people are that interested in what you're doing, you can only be yourself and the best version of yourself. So you really can't control that. So I've stopped caring as much, and I use social media as a platform to share what I'm doing, but my real connection comes from like my personal groups. I have a monthly subscription that people, it's like $10 or $15 a month, and I make these extra videos, do behind the scenes, do some private live streams for them, stuff like that.
Where can they find that? That's cool. I love when artists do that. At least have a fan page that has, content just for them.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm doing it, right? So it's on my website, houstonbernard.com, and there's a subscription button there. You can check it out. There's a video that tells you a little bit more about it. And I always make those videos, and I feel like I'm selling too hard. I'm like, hey guys, come on down. It's like, I'm not selling used cars. This is not 1995. So I have a problem with those videos, but I do want to be able to give extra and for people that are interested in knowing more.
Sure.
It's like, well, this is my process. Here's a new song I'm writing. Hey, what do you guys think of this video or this song? Those people get to see it first because they care the most.
Well, Houston, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. The night just flew by. So again, you got new stuff coming out a few months from now. Make sure you hit that form, randieoneal.com/shows, and get back on the show. We'll share with everyone and
Awesome.
Get interested. But I do agree, Vibe Videos, corporations are winning, but we indie artists are in the game and we're fighting back. We're just keeping our head above water. That's what we're doing.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. So thanks everyone for chiming in. And we are here Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks for having me, Randie.